Good morning. Well, you remember that $1,000,000 view I promised you? Well, it's still quite a view, but welcome to China. Yeah, it's not the clearest of days. A lot of this is smog. Some is just haze. Maybe this afternoon it'll clear up. I'm sure the sunset will be beautiful. But you can see down there, that's the mall. What I'm going to go to see. I've heard that the polar bear isn't there anymore. That was moved to the Changlong Ocean Park in Zhuhai, which is, if you've ever been there, it's no better really as far as the polar bear exhibit goes. But yeah, you got the HSBC building right over there that you see. That's a brand new mall too. So you got three very high-end, very large malls in this area. I'm interested in malls because not only are they centers of commerce, but they're also kind of centers of retail, and I think they're an excellent barometer of how an economy is doing in any country or any city or whatever. So we're gonna go check it out today. We're gonna do a little shopping and walk around. Construction everywhere, skyscrapers as far as the eye can see. It's actually a very impressive city. Now, one of the things about buildings here, even if it's a brand new construction like this shopping center that I'm at, incredible architecture. I mean, really out of this world. But as you can see, the fit and finish, and it's lacking a little bit. I see that a lot. You know, not every building is like that, but it is very common. And it's a shame. I mean, you have this beautiful architecture and beautiful gardens, and the buildings just the attention to detail isn't quite all there. Yeah, just that first glance. Looks like half the mall is empty. Oops. Guangzhou sometimes gets a bad reputation for being dirty and overcrowded and just a sprawling metropolis. And yes, it is kind of like that in many ways. But being a fan of the SimCities, I've been playing SimCity since I was 10 years old. I admit I still kind of play it today when I'm bored. I'm fascinated by big cities. I'm fascinated by the infrastructure, the relationships between the residential and the commercial areas, and how you hide the not so wonderful parts of town from, everyday living. And Guangzhou is definitely a city that has done that very, very well, I think. In the new part of Guangzhou, you have this park that runs along the center of downtown, and it's underground. It's all shopping malls, which is great in the summertime because it's air conditioned. But then to get around, they have a dedicated subway line. It's the Guangdong Library. Guangdong Museum, excuse me. This is a McDonald's in Guangzhou. It's stepping up its game. Check that out. That's a Mexican hamburger. Pretty cool. All in all, I had a successful day. I understand why, I guess people like to shop because it wears you out. I'm exhausted. I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 hours, but I scored a new pair of boots. I got some clothes for work, some pants and some shirts. Thank God for Western brands, like Gap and and Zara and H&M, because I went into all the Chinese stores and I couldn't find anything that would fit me. So, but all in all, I found some. I also got some stuff for the gym, which is great. So I'm a happy guy. It's an absolutely beautiful night in Guangzhou to go for a walk. I'm gonna go look for some food, find some dinner. So Guangzhou has a super impressive skyline. Every time I come here, I'm amazed by it. It really is beautiful. Guangzhou, even though it's, you know, massive city with lots of Chinese people, it's actually very cosmopolitan. It's not as cosmopolitan as, say, you know, Hong Kong or New York, but there's still quite a lot of foreigners walking around, working here, visiting, and yeah, it's a great city to come and visit. It's got a bad reputation, and I don't think it's really deserved. It's really come a long way from what I understand, even in the last just 10 years or so. I elected not to go to the aquarium. Number one, they don't have the polar bear there anymore, and I looked at the price, and it was $50 to get in. You know, I'm not going to pay $50 to see a bunch of fish that I've probably already seen, you know, scuba diving, or at the Chimelong one in Zhuhai. And it's got a really bad reputation. Everyone wants to shut this aquarium down, and I understand why. I mean, all the animals are stuck in little cages. They have shows for sea lions and stuff like that, and beluga whales, and it's all in a mall. It's like on the 3rd floor of a mall. I can't imagine that being any good for the animals, and I wasn't going to patronize a place like that. I just had second thoughts at the last minute. One thing that I have noticed in some of a lot of these big cities is you can't just cross the street anymore. They've blocked it off to pedestrians, a way to keep the traffic flowing. It's probably a good idea if you're driving, but if you're walking, you have to walk underneath, which means you have to go like half a block south, east, west, whatever, get down a ramp, and then go underneath the street, and then walk up the ramp again just across the street. It's very inconvenient if you're walking around town. In all, it was a very successful day. I got my shopping done, which is a miracle if you ask me, and I had a great bowl of pho for dinner. And now I'm just going to go grab a beer with a friend of mine who actually lives here. He used to live in Zhongshan. He moved here with a new job. But it's going to be an early night because I have to get up early and catch the train back to Xiaolan in the morning. But all in all, great day off. I know I don't get enough days off, it feels like sometimes. So when I get one, I try to do things like this and have some interesting things to do and places to see, and have a little fun too. Although shopping is not fun. I hate shopping. What a pain in the ass.